Hello and a very warm welcome to you again on Sarva Gunn Sampann. Thank you for joining me on this podcast where I have the privilege of showcasing and spotlighting the journeys of women of India and the Indian diaspora. If you like the content of these videos, please do like, share, and subscribe, but also feel free to leave any comments and feedback so I can continue to improve. My guest today is a woman who values hard work, respecting others, treating everyone as equal, and staying positive. Some of her strengths include intelligence, creativity, resilience, and empathy. So join me in welcoming Chandrika Chiduruppa on Sarva Gunn Sampann. Chandrika, what a pleasure to have you. How are you?
Hi, Anu. Thank you so much. It's indeed a very overwhelming feeling for me. So I'm very happy to be part of your show, and thank you for having me in your show.
I'm excited to learn all about your journey. So thank you again for obliging me. We'll get started. Our show is divided into 5 segments. Our first segment is Bachpan Ke Din. It's all about your childhood. So would love to go back in time with you and learn about how those years were for you growing up.
Thank you again for having me today. I would say the best part of my life is my bachpan, my childhood. So I was born in Kothagudem. It's quite a small town. It's in Kammam district in southern part of India. So my father was the principal of mining college there. Was always a pampered kid, and I was the second born in the family. And you know how the second borns are. So always naughty and jumping around. And my father always made sure that we had quite good education. So he put us in a very good school, which is one of the topmost school in Kothagudem. So that's called now Bharat Public School. And I was always in top of the class and other activities. We were into everything, like all the cultural activities, debates, like elocutions, everything. And those were very fun days, I would say. As I said, always pampered. Whatever you ask for, you get it. And mom is obviously like, why are you spoiling the kids and all? But I think you can never, ever go back to your childhood days. Once it's gone, once you're an adult, you will be an adult. But I would also cherish those days, and we really had fun. So we were there in Kothagudem till 8th standard. And then my father shifted to Hyderabad. So then we had to move to Hyderabad. And that's when we were again put into a very good school, which was in the university area, Osmania University area. And I think I would say the life has changed when we moved to Hyderabad. It's a big city coming from a small town, you know how it would be. Like your ideologies or your values and the way you have been brought up are different. But it was a bit of challenge for us to adjust to the environment, such a big city, and people are different. Small town people are quite warm and welcoming, very friendly and lovely. But here things were different. We had to adapt to the culture, and then new school, new friends, new environment, though we used to miss the old city. But we were getting there, happy and enjoying the life the way it was giving us.
Like they say, the second borns practically raise themselves because they learn so much from their older siblings, and the parents are so busy with the older siblings, with all the attention on them, that the siblings go under the radar. So carefree days, right? No responsibilities. So thank you for sharing, those aspects of your childhood. How were you at school? Talk to me a little bit about your schooling and any favorite subjects.
So as I said, I was always a favorite student in my school, and I used to top in almost all the subjects. And I was a school topper as well in my 10th standard. We were into all the activities. I used to participate in dance competitions, singing competitions, and volleyball and tennis. So basically what my father and mother taught was it's not important that you win in everything, but what you give from your end. It's always important to participate. You have to participate first to know your strengths and weaknesses. That's when you'll understand. You can't excel in everything. That's not practically possible. But he made sure that, okay, you try everything, and that is when you'll know what you're good at. So that actually, always encouraged us to come up front and say, okay, I'm going to be part of this competition. I'm going to be part of the other competition. So mostly I used to win, but some obviously I used to lose. But it never, I never used to feel discouraged because I thought, okay, life is going to give me another chance and I have to move forward. So that's how I've been brought up, and always energetic and very naughty. And I used to always get beatings also from my teachers. Yeah, that was part of my schooling. But very fun filled schooling, I would say, Anu. Uh, Always, I wouldn't never sit in the front bench. I was always a backbencher and making all sort of noise, eating while the teacher was teaching you, and making a lot of noise, and even provocating others to make noise. So that's how I was as a even in my schooling and all. That's how I was always naughty, and always jumping around, not sitting at one place and concentrating. So after 10th, that is when you gain a bit of maturity. Then I think you'll feel you have that inner feeling saying that, okay, now it's enough. You have to be a bit more mature. But when I was in my +1 and +2, which we call intermediate in India, in Hyderabad, my father always wanted me to be an engineer. And I used to love math and physics. Though math, like I could manage to get 100 out of 100, but physics and all, I was a bit behind. So he thought I need to be more, trained in those subjects. So I choose MPC, which is math, physics, and science. So yeah, he put me in a college initially, and which is one of the best college again. It's a girls' college, which is St. Francis in Hyderabad. But somehow I couldn't fit in there, and so at the mid of the first year, he moved me to another college. So that's when my journey towards engineering has started, and have been trained, and I could at least reach his expectations, and I got a seat in MSET. So that was my journey till 12th. Always busy, studying, naughty, everything. It was a pack of everything.
Sounds like a lot of fun, you being the trouble.
Yeah.
Like it just, I can't imagine. I mean, from what I've seen, it's hard to visualize that. But like you said, life mellows you down.
Yes.
But nothing like, those fun
No, you
childhood.
can't even compare those days with anything else. Yeah,
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that part of
my
your
pleasure.
Chandrika. Will now move on to our next segment, which is Ye
Sure.
Kahan Gaye Hum. And here you talk about what happened after you finished your 12th grade. And like I always say, this is a long span. Here is where the journey unfolds till the present day. So take us on that one.
I think your caption "Ye kaha aage hum" is very apt to my to my journey after 12th. I always feel, till yesterday, like, where am I now? What's going on? It's like sometimes you can't even figure out what exactly you want in life, and where are you, and how your journey has been. But yeah, to continue, after 12, I got admission into an engineering college, which was a minority college. Basically, what used to happen at that when I was doing my education during those days, my father wanted me to be close, because those days engineering colleges were quite far and you had to travel for about an hour and a half or 2 hours, to if you want a seat in the preferred stream. So I chose electrical and electronics engineering. So that's why he chose a college which was near to which was in the city. So then I've joined, and the twist was the first 1 year I was in Hyderabad, but again, due to some reasons, they had to shift it to a quite far place, which my father didn't want, but that's what happened at the end of the day. So I had to travel almost 1.5 hours in the morning, and again come back 1.5 hours in the evening. It's like a 3-hour journey for us. Again, first year, it's like you want to be on top of everything and get used to how it is. You're an engineering student, you don't concentrate more on studies, but it's like you're into everything, the friends, and uh, you want to be everywhere and see what life is offering you. So first year went like that, playfully. When I stepped into my second year, that's when the reality hits me. I worked so hard to come into this engineering stream, and it's a dream of your father and mine as well. So now it's time for me to get serious. So then I started concentrating on the subjects, and so I was getting there. I was also a good student, and bunking classes, going to movies, spending time with friends. And first year, yeah, second year, first half, this is what my routine was. So after that, the look at the irony of my life. My father had become the principal of my college, engineering college. So and you know how how you'll be treated when your father is the principal of the college. So that's when I had to become serious. And then, yeah, it was more third and fourth years, you'll be always serious about your studies and your project works and everything. But to cut short, then that's when the fun part has ended and I started concentrating on studies and everywhere. I was again the second topper in my class. My father was happy, though he wasn't happy about the percentage, but he was happy that I passed with flying colors. And then that's when he always wanted me to be an assistant professor, but I never wanted to go into teaching field. But again, immediately after I finished my engineering, I've got an opportunity to work as an assistant professor. So I was teaching in one of the good colleges for third years. So I was just a pass out and I was teaching a third year student. It was like I'm teaching my own friend or something like that. So again, that part of the phase of my life was again fun filled. It's not like you're a teacher to them, but you're more like a friend to them. So I had really good fun in that 1 year. So after that, again, it's like now you decide what you want to do. Obviously, once you finish your education in a typical Indian family, your parents want you to get married. My sister, lives in the US and she always played an important part of my life. She's like a mother to me. I was so pampered by her all the time because we have got a huge age gap. So now she was always protective. At that point of time, she was like, no, now you have to get married and all that stuff. For me, no, that's not what I want. Then I planned to go to New Zealand. So I actually wanted to come to the US to pursue my master's, but somehow it couldn't work. So I went to New Zealand and there I have done my master's in information communication technologies and I was there for a year. Again, it was a journey. You know how it would be that you step out of your comfort zone and there's nobody to pamper you there and there's nobody to guide you and you just step into a totally different world. So I initially had a few challenges, but later on I settled down and part-time job, studies, and I somehow managed to do everything and finish my master's. So that's when my father insisted, no, now you have to come back because I was already like 24 at that point of time. I said, no, you have to come back to India. So my mom was here because my sister was delivering at that time in the US. I mean. So I went back to India and then they started looking matches for me. So that's when I gave my parents the news that I'm in love with somebody. So, and my mother couldn't take it because it's an intercaste marriage. So, and we come from a very orthodox family. So my mother had a bit of difficulty to digest the fact that no, how can she do that? No, but my father, he's a darling as usual. So he supported me and he convinced my mom and my sister was okay. She was okay, but the usual challenges, because this is nobody has done it before. So not the last past 10 generations or
you were the trailblazer.
Yeah, I was indeed. So I initially had hiccups, but finally, because they were convinced that he comes from a good family. So that's how I got married to the love of my life. And so after that, again, we came to the US and we were here for about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. So he was working here. It was good. So now that's when the worst recession hit, the 2007, 2009. Then we had to make a choice, like, do we have to stay here or do we have to go back? Then we went to India because he had his father had his own businesses and all. So that's when the real story has started. Till here, it was like quite smooth and, no complications or no any adventures or anything, I would say. So then that's when we moved to Zambia. So that's a southern African country. So till then, I wouldn't even know that there's a country called Zambia in the world map. So again, it's a totally different, because from the US, from New Zealand to the US and from US to Africa, it's like a drastic shift in my life. It's quite a good place to stay and to settle down, but things weren't initially. Yeah, it was like a fantastic journey, I would say, because people are way warm there, way welcoming, way helpful, and it was nice. So that's when I conceived my firstborn. Obviously, it's I can't even express how that overwhelming feeling will be, like you becoming a mother. And then he was born. His name is Samrat. So he was born. So after he was born, on the 16th day, we figured out that he was born with a congenital heart disease. So it was like he needs to be operated as soon as possible for him to be alive. So now the medical facilities are very poor in Zambia. Still, he's the one who actually figured it out. And I would say he's the God in my life because he was the one who explained to me that, this is what it is. You have to get it done at ASAP. Otherwise, things would be not the same. Then I said, no, I can't wait. Just sit here. Then I had to start immediately with my mom and my dad. And unfortunately, my husband couldn't accompany me because of the work pressure and all. So I think from there, Anu, my life has totally changed. We had to come to Hyderabad and then we had to obviously rush to the hospital and get all the tests done and everything. So that's when, see, I think, when you're in desperate need of help, what I've learned in life is God always sends you somebody in the form of his representative. At every point of stage, a stranger comes to me and offers help. I believe in Shirdi Baba a lot. He's like my friend, I would say. So every aspect from there, though he has always been with me in every part of my life, but that phase of my life where I was all alone struggling with my kid because as I said, my husband, he couldn't come to Hyderabad and help with me with the situations. My kid, he was like 2.5 months old. He got operated on the same day. The operation was success, the surgery was successful, but yeah, there was some complication. So they had to again reopen his heart, and again they had to operate. On the third day, again there was heavy bleeding in the heart. So again they had to operate. And from that day, Anu, he has been fighting. He's a constant fighter. He never gave up. I've learned so much from my older one that no, I can't give up on him. And the worst thing for a mother is to see your kid in NICU struggling with life, and I don't think that's something that you ever want anybody to go through. And you're only allowed to go in there for 5 minutes, and you see your kid, though he's in unconscious state, but the moment you touch him, he could feel that, oh, okay, mom is with me. Those kind of situations, really, that's when you feel, oh, wow. I used to thank him every day for making me a mother, and it was a quite long journey because, as I said, he was a miracle kid. It's a quite big hospital in Hyderabad, but the doctors were surprised. They used to always come and tell me that your kid, he's a born winner. He's a fighter. So I think from that point of time, it was always like I became so overprotective. Nothing else seemed important to me. Not even my husband, not even my parents, or nothing else in life seemed important to me. He's the only primary concentration of my life. Then he recovered. We had to keep him in a closed environment, not allowing anybody to touch him or, not allowing anybody to come and see him. So then he survived. He was recovering, and one day again he had a panic attack and he turned completely blue. So again we had to rush him to the hospital, and they said no, he is having a paralyzed diaphragm, so we need to operate him immediately. So just after a month, after all the 4 surgeries, he got operated again. So why I'm giving you all these scenarios is, a 3-month-old kid, if he can fight so much for his life, why shouldn't I? I was like, what, 30 years old by then? Yeah. So why shouldn't I do that? He gave me so much strength and positivity in my life, saying that no, whatever happens in your life, stay positive, fight for it. Definitely there's somebody, up watching everything, whatever struggle you're going through. Somehow or the other form in your life, he's going to offer you help. Just trust the process, move forward, don't give up for anyone. Definitely you will succeed, whatever is the case. Any worse situation, just stay strong, trust yourself, trust the process. Superpower, Bhagwan, he's there. And at every point of time or every point of your life, in any form of person, or, you call Duta. So, like Bhagwan ka Doot, he will send somebody and you will come out of that situation. So, yeah, that's how it was. And he's fine now, though he has some issues. He needs to visit hospitals regularly. He needs regular checkups and all, but he's absolutely fine. And the amount of intelligence he has, trust me, when he comes here, you would, when you meet him also, you'll be in love with that boy. He came out with flying colors, and he's happy now. He's a happy child, though he's got his own issues. But we are getting there. We are getting there, and I'm sure he'll whatever he chooses to do in his life, he'll be in on top of it. That completely changed my perspective of life. And then again, I came to Zambia. So immediately after coming to Zambia, I received my second born. So again, I had to go to India because I was somehow I was not comfortable delivering in Zambia. So then again, I gave birth to my second one, and they're growing up together. And so that's one story when it comes to my kids. When it comes to your professional life, I had my own challenges. There's a lot that happened. I mean, it's just not one. I would say it's just a roller coaster. Okay, you recover from something else, and again, something else is waiting for you there at the corner. Oh, okay, I'm coming into your life now. So just stay strong and be ready for the battle. I said, okay, just give it on. I'm ready. I'm there. At some point of time, I think you want to give up because you don't find a ray of hope. But I never wanted to give up because that's not what I am, and that's not what my parents have raised me up. We never gave up, and see, today I'm sitting in front of you in the US, and where I've started my journey, that's where I'm back again.
Wow, that definitely has been a roller coaster for you, hasn't it? And
Yes.
throughout all this, I mean, if one looks at you and has conversation even for a few minutes, it's impossible to tell that you've gone through so much, especially with your son. But what an inspirational kid that one is, and I'm really looking forward to meeting him when he's here.
Yeah.
But I cannot even imagine what you went through in those initial months and years with the condition that he was born with.
Yeah.
For him to lead that fight and to have a mother who was so loving and supporting, like you said, God sends his messengers. And,
Yes.
faith is all you hold on to in those moments. But the two of you were there for each other, supporting each other every step of the way along with your family. So
Yeah.
Glad that it ended on a happy note, touch wood. And, really hope nothing but the best and wish for your son to be happy and healthy for the rest of his life. And hope
Thanks a lot, Anu. Thanks a lot. And after I got married, when we moved to Zambia, at that point of time, it was quite difficult to get any jobs in Zambia. The job market wasn't that promising, and unless and until you have somebody in the market who could refer you, it was quite tough at that point of time. Like, we were new to the country, we were new to the city, but through somebody, I've got a reference, and getting into software was like an impossible task in Zambia because the software companies are quite, there are not so many software companies. So then the most preferred job in that place is into finance. Like, either you should be an ACCA accredited finance person, or you should pursue your education in that. That's what they usually opt for. After I got married, I had to stay in India for about a year when my husband was in the US. So that's when I was part of American Chamber of Commerce. So I was the regional head for South India zone. It wasn't related to any of my education. So again, at that point of time, I was in need of a job. So that's when I jumped into it. It's because it was a quite fancy kind of a job, I would say, like meeting all the heads of various IT companies. So I thought this might be an opportunity for me to get into, IT industry somehow the other way. So I was doing quite well there, and they were very good. All my bosses were Americans. So it was good. But again, that's when we had to move to Zambia. So I had to resign in there. After coming to Zambia, I got an opportunity to join FedEx. So as an accountant there, it was a total different field I was entering into. Accounts was a complete no-no to me, though I was interested in math, but math and accounts are totally different. All those ledgers, whatever it is, it was a bit difficult for me to understand. But still, since I had to, it was like for survival, I had to. So then I joined. I was doing great there. I was learning. So for me, especially, I know it's not like, okay, this is not my forte or this is not my field. wherever I am, I try to give my 200%, because when a person hires you, it's like, they trust you, they have some kind of expectations from you, and they want you to perform. So now it's not like, oh, okay, I'm getting my salary at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter whether you give your 100% or not. No, I never have been like that. So I learned accounts, I learned finance, whatever was needed for my particular role. I've tried to gain knowledge, and I was doing really good. So that's when our business has started, and we had a restaurant in Zambia. So my husband has done his MBA in his hospitality and all. So then he was in need of my help. So that's when I resigned the job and I joined him in the restaurant business. It was a beautiful journey, I would say, because my husband was living his passion, and though I wanted to be something else, but it's fine. At this point of time, this is what life has given me. Let me take it, and I was giving my 100%, and we were enjoying that job, and we have given our 200% effort in trying to build a business, and it was running quite successfully, and it was one of the top restaurants, and it was a crazy journey. And that's when again I conceived, and all that story, Samrat, and also now I got completely detached from that restaurant or business, or so almost like for 3 to 4 years, oh, I would say 5 years, I had a gap in my employment because I had to take care of Samrat and until he was fit enough, and so that I can leave him at home or make him go to school. So until I'm comfortable that he's okay at that particular point of time. So that's when I again started thinking that no, now this is the time I have to again start pursuing my career. So again, it was, the job market is quite different there. As I said, finance jobs are quite easy to get, but nothing in IT industry or engineering field and all. So again, I approached my same boss. He was more than happy to have me in his company again. So I joined Fortune Foods. So it's a company with almost 30 to 40 chain of restaurants into different franchisees. So I used to work from the head office. Now again, I was into finance, and I was promoted as the finance manager for accounts payables, and it was good. It was quite good. I was happy. My bosses were very happy with me. It's like a family to me. And as I said, the Zambians are very warm people. The amount of love they shower on you, it sometimes it's quite overwhelming for you to take that kind of love as well. Very helping, and it has become part of my family, and very interesting new things to learn. But everything was into finance. But again, I would say, I know as an individual you have your own dreams and you have your own passion, but sometimes what happens is life won't give you what you expect. Yeah, I've always wanted to be an engineer, so I did. Yeah, because I had that opportunity, and my parents played a major role in achieving my dream. But later on, what happens is when you're on your own, when you don't have that shadow of your parents, you have to take your own decisions. And especially after you get married, it's a total different scenario. It's like you have to make difficult choices. It's not always what you want. You just have to take it the way it has, it comes to you. So I took it with a smile. I said, okay, that's fine, because I'm confident wherever I am, I'll give my 100%, and I would grow in my career. So I think everybody else also should have the same approach towards life, not to get disappointed, thinking that, no, this is not what I want to do in my life. Take it, give life a chance. Definitely, maybe now if you're into finance, just as an example, I'm saying, if I'm into finance, maybe, you could grow in the same company, or you could get a good opportunity and go into your preferred field. You can be an engineer at any point of time. So as I would say, age is just a number. Even at 50 years also, you can still be an engineer. Even at 60 years also, you can still be an artist or dancer, or whatever it is, whatever your passion is. So yeah, I've taken it, and I've grown in that job, and I've come almost like 6 to 7 years. I've worked with him, and he's been a very great boss and always helpful, always kind. So um, that's when things have started becoming a bit difficult with my husband's business. So now again, we had to make a tough choice, and the economy also was quite bad. It's still bad. It has become worse right now. So that's when again my husband's cousin, he was suggesting, why can't you just come back to US? Then I was like, okay, is that what I want? But he said, okay, let's give it a try. It's not like once you get your H1 approved, it's not like you just have to come, immediately. You can make your choice. It got approved. So which wasn't, it was a completely unanticipated, we were never anticipating that to happen. So I've got my H1, and that's where again the thinking process has started. Oh, wow, is this what we want at this point of time? Then again, obviously, you have to weigh your options and think what's best for your kids. Obviously, at some point of stage in your life, you won't think about yourself. You start thinking about your kids, what's good for them, and that's where you have to make decisions. Because obviously in Zambia, for at certain point of time, for education, kids definitely move either to UK or to the US. So we thought, okay, still they are young. It might be a better move now because as you grow older, things you might not have the same interest as you are now. Then we had to make again a tough decision, and that's when I went again to India to get my stamping done. So even at that till that point of time, I wasn't sure that is this what I want. But I think it's my sister's manifestation, I would say. And I think you plan many things, but ultimately, I believe God has already made a plan for you, a better plan for you. Though you think that, oh, okay, this door has shut for me, then they say, right, a window opens for you. So yeah, he opened a better door for me, or better window for me, a better opportunity away from the environment which was becoming a bit toxic for us. And yeah, and now again I'm in the US, and it's again, like, that's why they say, life is a circle. Yeah, you come where you have started. So even here, with the job market right now, it was a bit difficult for me to even I was so scared, to be very frank. On, like, is this the correct time? Because will I be able to land in a job? And but by God's grace, I've landed in a very good job, very good company, and now I can say I'm a developer. What I have, what have studied, it's the time wherein I have to, prove myself. I think today my dad is very proud, and now that's what I'm saying. Okay, at last I've added an engineer to my job, title. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Chandrika, for talking about how things have shaped you as a person. Obviously, it's your winner's attitude, I would say. You're so and flexible and resilient. That's one of your strengths that you talked about, where you've taken all the changes that have come your way, all the ups and downs, and you've always had the attitude that, let's just roll in with the punches. Let's see where life takes us. So
Sure.
that's incredible. And that's such an inspiration to everyone that's watching this, including myself.
Thank you.
Now move on to our next segment, which is work-wise. It's Kaam Ki Baat. And in this segment, I want to learn about what is it that you do in your present job, and what are some of the skills that you have gained? How did you gain them? And if there's somebody that's interested in learning about your journey as a developer, what should they be aware of? So this is a segment where we talk mostly about your career as a developer.
Sure, Anu. So after my H1 got approved, I got a chance to stay in India for about 5 months. So that's when actually I tried to gain a bit of knowledge on the various platforms, various technologies. Because for the past 10 years, I've it's like I've lost touch of all the technologies and all. And again, putting my step into software field was like a nightmare to me. And it's like, no, I was doubting myself. Is it possible for me to do this at this point of life? Will I be able to manage? Because after your kids and all, you don't get that much of time to concentrate on studying. Your mind is into so many different things. So, but I thought, no, life has given me another chance, so I have to prove myself again. So I was advised to gain knowledge on certain skills like Snowflake and Java, MySQL, and PostgreSQL. So as I said, these terms were like Greek and Latin for me at this point of life. But still, I managed to complete the courses. But it's a total different scenario. Theoretical knowledge is different, and practical, hands-on expertise is quite different. But I was like preparing my ground. And then when I've come here, obviously, I've put in my resume, and this is where I was told by one of our relatives, that, there's an opportunity here and you can try. So I've attended the interview. See, I would say at this particular interview, I wouldn't say that it's completely technical part that got me into this job. But I think my openness saying that, okay, I'm ready to learn anything. Okay, yeah, I've done these courses, I've gained a bit of experience, I've got a knowledge, but the openness with which you convince your person who's taking your interview that I'm ready to learn anything, whatever you throw on me, I can give my 100%. Oh, it's Java or MySQL or PostgreSQL or anything, whatever it is, I'm ready to take up the challenge and give my 100%. I think that's where I managed to convince the person who was taking my interview. So after a week or so, that's when they said I'll be employed. The good part with this employer is they agreed to train me on the technologies for some time. So until they place me in a project. So I have been put under Snowflake training and I've been trained there for about a month. So after that, they have put me into, it's a software company basically, migrating from the traditional database to the cloud platforms. That's the basic, business they are into. They have now put me in a very big project. So my employer is quite good. And the kind of assurance I got from the employer is, don't worry, because I know it's a difficult thing for you, migrating from an accounts background to a technical background. We will train you. There are people to help you understand the technologies and all. So until and unless you're confident enough, you'll be placed in a quite larger group. It's not like you'll be working as an individual, in a smaller group. So you'll be put in a larger group wherein you'll get the help of many people. So that's where I gained a lot of confidence. And today, I would say I'm 50% better, because initially I was scared to death. I was like, no, will I be even able to manage this role? But the effort of the employer and the efforts that I'm trying to put in from my end today, yeah, I'm a bit confident. Yeah, I would say a developer.
Really happy to learn about that story. The journey that you've been on as a developer, and you highlight some really important things that folks should hear about. First is that it's a leap of faith. You
Yes.
Have not been a trained software developer. You
Yes.
have a background in engineering, which is definitely very helpful.
True.
Because I believe that a lot of the skills that you learn as engineers spills over into many different fields. So systems thinking, the way you look at processes and all that really helps. But also the fact that you are very flexible and you have this attitude that I can pick up anything, I can learn. I think that's what at the end of the day employers are interested in.
Yes, definitely.
It's easy to teach technical skills if you have a background like the one that you have, and you're a student, you pick things up fast. But that attitude that you bring, that I'm confident, I can pick up things. That is what ultimately makes or breaks, right? So for you to bring those skills to the table, the employer obviously saw that, and we can, so it's half the battle won. This person has all the right skills, right attitudes. They're willing to learn. They're eager to learn. They've, been in these situations before. This is not the first time, right? You were exposed to finance and you picked it up. You were doing accounting, and you're also using software in what you. So you have actually talked about things which are very, very relevant. And I think every job seeker, especially folks who are entering any field, should learn that. They should know how to transfer what they have done in their past jobs. You are talking about industries, you're talking about systems that you've been exposed to, that you have learned. And taking somebody like you and teaching them, the technical skills is not going to be very difficult for them because you have that perspective, you have, the overview. So thank you so much for reinforcing some of those, facts that job seekers and people who are, starting out in their careers should think about very seriously. So thank you. I wish you all the very best. I have absolutely
thank you so much.
You're going to ace this just like you have done your previous roles, all because of the one fact that you're a survivor. Ultimately, that's carrying. So great for you. We'll move on to our next segment from here, which is the X Factor. So here we talk about your personality and what do you think is core to your personality. I can think of one thing right away is you're a survivor, but beyond that, talk about something that you have been part of, whether it is and time permitting, right? Whether it is something that's outside of your home, some extensional activities, and things of that nature. I heard you're a great singer and your dancing skills. So get a light on all of that.
I'm such a kind of a person who won't I won't like to be restricted. I'm like a free spirit. So when I say free spirit, it's not like I try to put my foot into everything. No, what I'm comfortable with, I definitely try to give my best shot. And what I've learned in life, Anu, is whatever comes to you, just take it and proceed with a smile. That smile makes a difference. It makes a lot of difference in your life. When you see a person, when you smile with warmth and that love, the amount of love the other person would feel, it's an overwhelming feeling for me. So what I've learned is respect others, always treat others as your equal. It's not like, okay, no, I'm above them, whatever way it is, financially or physically or mental strength or whatever it is. No, because each individual has got their own strengths and weaknesses. And it's not, for me, it's not always good to portray your weaknesses, because it's something, there's above weakness, there's your strength. Like, for me, empathy, that is something which I really, really, really care for. And when somebody is looking up to you, give them your time. It doesn't matter, if you, it's not like you have to always give a solution to their problems. Just giving them a feeling that you're there for them. That is what I always, I believe in. So that's why I always have good number of friends. So I'm like a quite popular in my group, because when I'm with my friends, I like to enjoy. That's all. It's like you give your best. Don't have any inhibitions, don't have any expectations, don't judge anyone, because they're dealing with so much stuff in their own life. But when they're with you, they want to be happy. So just give what you can. Spend some time with them, enjoy, eat. I'm a food lover. So eat, enjoy, dance, sing. That's it. You're done. You have enjoyed that part of your moment in your life. So those are all memories. I like to gather memories, for your life. So apart from that, I was into many other activities. Like I was the chairman for Satya Sai Baba organization. Yeah, I was the chair lady actually. So that's also a quite challenging role, because you have to organize events, and there are many things that you have to follow the standards of Satsai Baba worldwide organization. So I was always into that, and I used to find peace doing that stuff and attending bhajans and all, organizing if there are any Diwali events. I used to make sure that my group dances in each and every show, whatever it is, if we get an opportunity. So choreographing for such, though I'm not a trained dancer, but I like to dance. But I'm also not a trained singer, but I would love to sing. So these things make me happy. It's like you already have your own share of issues, but when I listen to music, or when I, sing, or when I dance, or when I'm with my friends, I really feel at peace. In my own group, I used to maintain an NGO, like a small donation group, wherein I used to collect, not in the form of monetary help, but kind, like any clothes, used clothes, or food. Because as you might have already know, that African countries, the poverty rate is quite bad. There are too many orphanages where you don't even get proper facilities there and all. So I used to make sure at least once in a month I get few donations from. It's not a big group though. There are about 20 to 30 ladies. So wherein they would just drop in food for at my place, and then we used to go. That was, I think, such a satisfying job, and I so wish that I could continue it here. I don't know if I could or not. The happiness that you see on the kids' face, I know it's really amazing. Even you give them a small biscuit packet, they get so happy with it, because they see so much in their life, that poverty is not a good thing that somebody would really want to go through in their life. So that used to give me a lot of happiness. And yeah, my friends were very cooperative, and we used to collect food, whatever we can, like clothes and all. We used to go once in a month. We used to choose one particular place, like 1 month for cancer survivors, kids, and the next month to just like street kids. So that was something which was part of my life there back in Zambia. And other activities, these extracurricular activities were always there. It was a busy and fun-filled life, I would say.
it's a wholesome life that you've led in any which way you can think of, whether it is working on your own career aspirations, taking care of your family, helping your husband with his restaurant, managing all these different activities and also pursuing your own interest in music and dance, I think is wonderful. So keep up all of that. Great.
Thank you.
Work. And now we'll move on to our final segment, which is self-care. Here, I'd love to learn about what do you do, maybe on a daily basis or as time permits, to take care of yourself at a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level?
This is a bit tricky question, but now I have started taking care of myself because I've realized how important it is for an individual to start realizing the importance of oneself. So spiritually, yes, I'm quite connected to Baba, I said, and I also worship the other deities. I make sure I follow all the traditional, the prayers and all that we have been taught while we're in childhood. That gives me a lot of peace. So I would suggest, every individual has got something or the other which gives them peace. So I think we just need to choose a path which you think will give you that kind of mental stability or that kind of peace in your life. So for me, yes, connecting to God is one thing which I definitely do on a daily basis. And self-care, I think at some point of time you lose interest in yourself, the way you look. You gain weight after your deliveries and after your C-sections or whatever, and you feel that you are not beautiful anymore. So for me, the beauty is your inner beauty. It's not your face or your figure. It's how you portray yourself. I might be fat, but I'm happy the way I am. Just be confident with yourself. Wear whatever you want to wear. Don't allow anybody to judge you. You can wear a sari if you're comfortable. If you wear a dress, if you wear a short, if you wear a mini or skirt, whatever it is. But just be comfortable in whatever you wear and be confident. That's what matters at the end of the day. But it's very important to, at some point of time, you realize that, okay, it's time for you to concentrate on your health and your food habits and your, daily routine. I think now I'm trying to, make sure that at least I exercise for a few minutes, though it becomes quite difficult for you to incorporate the, 30 or 40 minutes or 1 hour session of workout and all. But I'm trying. I'm sure I'll get there. Eat whatever you want. That's what I feel, because, you've got only one life. So eat and exercise. So, yeah. And then just be positive in life and manifest. That's something which is really working for me, I would say. If you manifest anything, not like you follow a routine or you follow a procedure to manifest, that's not needed. You've got so many, videos or anything that guides you how to manifest. I don't think you need to follow all those rigorous steps and all. Just sit, stay calm, and concentrate what you want to do in your life. If you want a good house, think about it every day, dream about it every day. I'm sure one day you'll be, literally staying in your dream house. So that's what I've been doing. And wherever I am moving forward in my life, it has been helping me. So yeah, it's one of the major changes that I've adapted in my life, which is giving me a very good and positive result.
All the very best to you. And, I really wish you a lot of success. And what you're doing seems to be working because going by, all the changes that you've had to deal with in such a short span of time over the course of last few years, at least, looks like, you have made a resolution and, like what we call sankalp, right?
Right.
You have manifested that by whatever you're doing. So it seems like it's been working, and I hope it continues to work and you fulfill all your dreams. So on
Thank
that,
you so much.
Any parting words for our audience before we wrap up?
I just want to tell each and everybody, just believe in yourself. Don't allow anybody to judge you. You are unique. Nobody can compare you with anybody else. You have got your own strengths and weaknesses. So just concentrate on those and move ahead. God has given you this life. Get what He has given you. Take full advantage of it. Survive, stay positive, and just keep going. Hard work always gets paid. So just have patience and just have confidence in yourself. Nobody can beat you. You can always win in your life.
I really appreciate that. And I think you walk the talk, everything you've talked about as that parting message, you actually embody that. You have talked about the difficulties, the challenges, the personal struggles, but how you have overcome them and yet you continue to stay so positive and have that attitude of resiliency and determination. So that is extremely important, and I'm sure my audience will really appreciate everything that you've talked about. Thank you so much for bringing your authentic self. To my viewers, if you have liked this episode, please leave a comment below, and I hope you gained some valuable insights and a lot of inspiration. I definitely have. And I want to thank once again on behalf of all of us. I want to thank you, Chandrika, for taking the time out of your busy schedule and being my guest on Sarva Gunn Sampann. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anu. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me.